Did that move your meter?
Tonight I'm gonna have myself a real good time playing Commander, and the games will go in my favor. Yeah, I'm kicking your ass, Big Low and Trombley. You can't stop me now. You can't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time kicking both of your asses.
So this is Queen.
There you go.
I know that. Having a good time.
Don't stop me now.
All right.
Good job. You got Queen. The funny thing is, this was my song for last week, and then we were like, oh, wait, no, Trombley has to sing. And the song does not fit because I didn't kick anybody's ass. I just lost.
Yeah. But why waste the song when you've already written it?
I was like, I wrote this song. I have to put it in here. Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I am Adam Smith.
And I am Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
So this is episode number 78. And what is this episode about?
Commander Christmas came out.
Woo!
Yeah, so a ton of new cards, a ton of new commanders to be able to talk about. Talked about some of them last week, but a big majority of them came out in this last week.
Yeah, okay, so before we get into... Oh, no, let's get all our stuff done. Because I have some questions for you after everything's been spoiled now. But we also did a video this week. Well, we can talk about that too.
When we get to...
Patron stuff. Why don't you start us off with our
so
stuff?
we're on Twitter, and we try and do stuff on there like we...
Which,
you know,
one of the things that Larry likes to do is
not share with Adam. I don't drink beer on it, but that's a really good one too. I started
drinking before you were explaining this one.
Yeah, you fucking cheers.
Sorry, cheers.
So
Lupulin.
Yeah, and so that's a mashup with what's the other company that it's with?
Is it the Stoop?
Yeah, Stoop. So Stoop. So I bought, it's a 4-pack, and there was 2 of those and 2 of the one that I didn't share. So I'm drinking the one that I didn't share. That one's quite
Operation
good. Cooperation. That's what the name of mine is as well.
Oh, it is?
They're double IPAs. Yours is much better than mine.
This one is pretty delicious.
Mine's with Mumford Brewing out of California.
Mumford
Yours is out of
Brewing?
Maybe. I mean, is there another time you would use the word Mumford?
No.
I don't think so. Is it kind of like frumpy? Is it just a made-up word that people... Am I unaware of, are they Stepford brothers?
So this was the not sharing with that, not the one that I'm drinking, the one that you're drinking?
Correct.
And you're saying...
Actually, I like this one better. I don't know why.
You want to share with Adam?
No.
We also do on there the Proxy of the Week. This last week was Mazarek. And that also goes towards patrons can get that for patron rewards and all that fun stuff.
But you also just get to look at pretty stuff if you for Adam's Proxy.
A lot of GIFs too go back and forth.
There's some of them, yeah.
No, I mean for our stuff, there's just a lot of banter. My responses, you can tell if it's me. Actually, Larry's been doing a lot more lately too.
I've done 4 GIFs.
Yeah, it's like I write a response and then a GIF to
whoever.
Yeah, whatever the response, how it fits the response. So
no, your GIF game is on point.
I know, so thanks, buddy.
It takes me like a half hour to choose one. But
when you
thanks,
do it,
and then I'm like, no, I don't like any of these things. What's a different way of saying thanks?
What is a different way?
Very much appreciated. Not like those gifts better.
Yeah, it's like a really long sentence above it, and it's like, geez, you make it yourself. You go on your computer and type it out.
Just like
Larry doesn't get it.
Front of a video. Yeah.
All right, and you can also go on YouTube. We actually, like I said, we have our patron drawing we will have up shortly within the next week or so of everybody that won packs and stuff.
But we're going to send out the cards before that.
Yeah, those will definitely go up before that. But you can go on YouTube. You can check out our podcast there. But this is the best free way to support the podcast. Go on there, subscribe, like, share.
I don't think anybody's liked anything there.
No, there's a lot of likes.
Are there?
Yeah, there's a lot of likes. We get up votes.
A lot?
I mean, guess what's your definition of a lot? I mean, my definition is more than one.
So your definition of a lot is a couple.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's good to know.
So makes it sound like we're pretty popular.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the free way to do it. And then you can check out some of our other videos, the battle boxes, how to make the proxies and all that stuff.
Our
is on
cousin
there.
Jake is currently going through our battle boxes. He's like, it's super funny. It's
comment. He's like, oh, that was an awesome battle. I can't believe Lowry came back or Adam came back. And
he's so
like,
positive.
dude, this is like 5 months old, but it's awesome. He went through
I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
And then you can go to our email.
Yeah, you're stealing my spot.
Sorry.
You can anything and everything you want to contact us through email, which is CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. More songs would be appreciated because I'm next week and I don't have one lined up.
Uh-oh. Well, you'll just come up with one that has one word in it and then you're good.
Yeah, well, I'm working on that.
And then lastly, our way to support us by giving us monies is to go to Patreon. And if you're donating $5 or more, you get proxies of the week from each month. This last month, we also did a drawing for battle packs. What do we want to call it? No, that'll be later. It's going to be battle boosters. But everybody... No. We just did a video, opened up packs, and we did a random name from our patrons for each dollar that you spend.
$1 entered you in for a pack.
We did get one patron that donated $1 and won the pack.
You lucky ducky.
And that was the theme of that. Lowry started the saying lucky ducky, and I don't know why. I gave him the pity laugh, and I kept doing it, and then he said it every single time, so I think lucky ducky that should be the name of that.
Maybe that should just be what the name of the video is called.
That's what I'm saying.
Lucky Duckies. Lucky Ducky pack opening. I love the...
yeah, it was... by the end, I was saying lucky ducky, so...
It's very catchy.
But out of those packs we opened, did you go to the store and pick up any other packs?
Yeah, that was bad. All right, so we randomly had a conversation while we were sound checking, and it was a pretty good conversation, but...
That's going to lead into this next little segment, quick, that we talk about stores, and that's this.
And then after... Well, no.
What?
But after this, we're going to talk about Commander spoilers.
Now we're going to talk about Commander spoilers.
But yeah, we'll do the conversation now. I went to Gaming Goat out in Woodbury last week, like on Monday. No, it was Sunday. Maybe it was Friday. It was Thursday. All the days are blending together. I'm like, holy shit. But I really dislike that store. I hate the stores that look up everything when you're like, I'd be interested in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are a ton of stores that do it. I just don't go back.
So then you go to buy it and they don't have the price on there?
Correct. And then they just go, well, I'll just look them up, and then, and like his cards weren't in great condition. So I was like, I'm not going to pay like TCG near mint prices when I can just... That's my whole thing. Like, if I'm paying TCG prices, I can just buy from TCG.
Exactly. You don't need to have them right there. You can wait 5 days to get all the cards for cheaper. I'm not some crazy nut that's like, I love this card, I have to have it. And then if you don't buy it, you're going to forget it. Like, yeah, it just... So I still spent money there. Like, I bought Disrupticorum. I bought 2 Nesting Dragons. And then some. How much were the Nesting Dragons?
I bought them for like $4 something a piece, 4 and change, $4.50.
I think after taxes, mine came out to almost $5.
So
it's whatever. It wasn't like a huge.
I just looked at stuff and then I was just like, yeah, because I pulled out not as many cards as I would have. Mm-hmm. But like I always, whenever I walk into a store and not see anything, like I have to really be specific and just like. So everything's TCG or whatever. And they're like, yep. And I was like, you have no bulk foils or bulk rares that I can look through for like 50 cents or whatever a piece. And they're like, nope. We look up everything. I'm just like,
well, see you later.
Well, it's just like, I'd like to give a little bit of money just so I don't look super annoying. Mm-hmm.
But that's super annoying.
But I just, because like after my stack, he's like, I'm sure he was like, because it was like, almost $90, and then because he's able to like put it on a list, and it has all the prices together, and then at the end it like adds up everything, and then he can just type that into the cash register basically. And so I was like, how do I get rid of some of these? And he's like, oh, you just swipe whatever and trash it. and I went from 90 down to 25. I'm sure I'll take these cards. I mean, I'm sure he was like, "Aw,
damn it!"
But it's I don't know the price of every card. Like some of them were just like more than I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
So like probably by quite a bit. And there are other cards that were interesting where I was like, well, I know I don't want to buy it for that price.
So rummaging at card stores has completely kind of changed, right? I mean, besides the one store you go to?
No,
that used to be
mean,
so much fun because you go through and find like at
little
the stores.
gems.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, this is like a $5 card, or this is like, or potentially could be a expensive card. But
that's the whole thing that's really changed. I would agree. Like everybody's like super penny pinching. So like they'll go through, like the source now goes through every box and pulls anything that's like over 75 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has not been worth my time. Like I go there, I'm just like, this is fucking tedious. Like I'm getting nothing
and
other than like
pure, hours.
Yeah, it's like pure speculation. Like it's nice when I can walk out of there and like go like, okay, I spent $20 and I have $20 worth of cards and just a ton of bulk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I got stuff off your hands. I got a bunch of, dollar cards or whatever worth my time. But now it's just like, I got $12 in bulk. I spent 2 hours here and just wasted my fucking time. The thing that I look for now that's more to my advantage, at least so I don't feel like I'm wasting my time, is like, that's why I ask for bulk rares and bulk foils.
Mm-hmm.
Because then like, I know it's at least a concentrated area of possibly good.
Yeah.
But going through like commons and uncommons is just not worth my time anymore because people pick out the good cards before they even put it in there now. Yeah. So I just go there. I'm willing to spend a little bit more to get rares and foils basically because it's absolutely not worth going through commons and uncommons at this point.
Well, I used to be excited to go. Like I kind of was sad when when I had not when I had the boys, but like sad that I wasn't able to go to the source anymore and kind of go through the cards and stuff. But then the last time I went to the source, I was there for an hour and a half. I think it was killing time, like between renters or meeting a renter or something like that. And I didn't find a damn card in that. Like I was there for an hour and a half, and I was like, "This sucks." Like,
yeah, it's brutal when you waste time.
Yeah.
So you either need to get there because there's enough people that do it now. They either need to get there when it's a fresh box or like a fresh set and just go through the new stuff. Because half the time, like people don't really know what's good or not. And so like, I think some of the hate cards in this set, like Core 2020, are going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like picked out, some of those, and I was just like, yeah, those won't be bad. Or like, I just didn't like ditch them. You kept everything easy. I was just like, I don't want everything.
Well, I know that I'll sort through it and put it in where I want to put it and all that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And that segment was us bitching about card stores. That was a good conversation, Larry. Way to go.
Wow. You have some intelligent, good points there, Adam. I really enjoy talking with you.
Now let's move on to the meat and potatoes of this episode. Oh, man. Okay. So, as you guys know, the rest of the Commander spoilers went out this last week. Each deck had a day, basically. So they did each theme.
Is that what you're going to ask me about?
No. Oh, yeah. What I was going to ask you about is, remember before coming into this, you were very skeptical about how this was going to turn out. You're like, how is this even going to be good? Whatever. Now that everything's been spoiled, where do you fit? Because, I was more on like, hey, give it a chance. Oh, they can do it. I believe in wizards. But you were more like, this is going to be shit. And I can't see it.
I was hopeful that they were going to do a good job with it. I think the cards look cool. That's all I can say. Do I want to play with a lot of them?
I think there's a lot of cool commanders in this. Not necessarily the head commanders.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want to play with what the style of the deck was? Do you want to play with the morph commander?
I do. That's probably one of the more, even though that's not the one I'm doing for my Pedon commander, but or my Spotlight commander.
Do you want to do flashback or madness or
So I will
populate?
say, because there isn't, madness is kind of tough. I would like to do that deck because I've never really played with madness. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to play these as they're built and then build our own.
I think I agree with that. I am excited to see what they do like straight out of the box. I think they will be pretty fun.
And not necessarily even playing the top commander of it either.
Yeah.
Like switching it around a little bit. And that's kind of what we do with these is we each buy we buy one of each, and then we go for basically it's normally guys weekend. Well, we did that last year, and then we just beat them to the ground.
I don't know when we're going to do it this year. Beat them.
But yeah, so I guess let's jump into it. Where do you feel? Where's your level?
I do got a little bit of a question for you on this. Do you like each day for a deck?
I think it's pretty cool.
And then be done with it in basically 4 days for spoilers.
I think it's
because think about it, we're still not going to get it for another. Well,
it's only
you got a week.
It's
away, coming
right?
out next weekend, I believe.
Yeah,
22nd.
I like them doing the whole decks instead of being like, of course you would know which deck it goes with, if it's morph or whatever, but I like that they're just focused on a certain deck and you're seeing that whole deck that day. I kind of like that style. Or did you like it mixed around?
I don't know.
Do you think we're going to catch that?
We might have a dog snoring in the background.
If we do, it's Larry's dog. I'm not going to cut it out.
I have an old man dog.
Okay, so I guess to finish it off there, where did you feel then? You felt the same?
I'm happy.
Happy.
I'm definitely happy with what they've done with this.
Okay.
Okay.
So why don't I start off with the first card, because this is the one that What?
I might need it.
Oh, you need a little zoomed in?
Yeah. There's like a lot of words on these cards.
Yeah. So the first card, and this is the first one. I'm actually gonna be doing this card as my commander. Then I'm gonna build it at some point. First, I'm gonna play them as they come out of the box. But it's Atla Panali or
Panini,
Polani,
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 Pilates,
Nest Tender. Basically, it's the egg commander, but it's 1 red, green, and white. It's a human shaman. 2/3. Tap 2, tap it, create an 0/1 egg creature token with defender. Whenever an egg you control dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reach a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield. The rest of the cards go on the bottom in a random order. So there aren't really that many other eggs. The one, and this is kind of my spec for this week, we're not really doing specs, but one card that I would highly suggest if you're going to go with this deck, you got to pick up Nesting Dragon. It was from last year's Commander set. For sure. You can't get it in foil because it's from a Commander set, but that one, what it does is it's a landfall trigger and you get eggs.
Makes an 0/1 egg.
So, and then not only that, when that dies, you get a 2/2 dragon plus whatever you flip over on this. This card seems really sweet. Like, I am kind of really excited.
Excited for it?
Kind of really excited.
Ooh, kind of really.
It just the deck in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to use. I know there's the infinite combo of using the Thornbite staff.
Sure, that untaps whenever a creature dies,
and then basically
Ashnod's Alta, which sacrifices the egg, gives you 2 mana, which would untap Alta, which gives you the 2 mana to tap it.
So that's not going in my deck.
That's boring.
Yeah.
That's combo. Come on.
I think the way I'm going to go about this deck is more of the populate stuff and not using her untap ability. Like, because I could put Instill Energy, I was thinking is one thing to have on there. But I think
that seems cool.
I don't know if I'll use it or not. I think I just might try to use the populate mechanic and then a shit ton of big creatures and not have none of my mana dorks. It's all going to be mana rocks so that I don't hit those.
Or instants, or probably not instant, but sorceries.
Yeah.
That go and put lands into play.
Yeah. So
Makes
I think
sense to me.
That's the way I'm going to go with that one. So,
big creatures.
Do you have, do you know which commander you're going to build? Which general?
Which of all of them?
Yeah. You're going to build them all.
I have
Larry P's all over the place.
I was spraying like a fire hydrant this week. It was crazy.
I was like, I call this one, this one, this one, this one.
I've already made 2
one.
decks. Yeah. And I'm planning on building 1 from each box. So we'll get to Volrath, and we talked about Sylvine last week. So I'm building Sylvine. And I don't know what I'm going to do from Madness or from Populate yet. I'm actually leaning towards this next one, Chainer, Nightmare Adept. It's 2 colorless, black and a red for a 3/2. You can discard a card. You may cast a creature card from your graveyard this turn. Activate this ability only once each turn. So that's kind of the first part. So you can discard a card, And it doesn't have to be like, it could be a madness card or just any old card that you want. But then if there's a creature card in your graveyard, you get to cast a creature card.
Now, you can't cast the creature that you're discarding because it's part of the cost, right?
No. You've already discarded the card, and then that allows
Then it allows you?
So you could cast that creature if it was a discarded creature.
Okay.
So you could do that. The thing is like, it's not a general reanimator theme, because most of the time you're trying to cheat on mana to bring a big creature into play. Mm-hmm. This, you still have to cast that creature.
So really, discarding that creature into your graveyard is like, it's in your hand anyways.
Yeah, why are you necessarily doing that? But you could still have a reanimator theme that allows, and then that's allowing you to get creatures from your hand into the graveyard.
Well, I guess the second part to it is whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it didn't come from your hand, it gains haste until end of turn.
Yeah. So that part,
that's the way you could discard it from your hand to give it haste, because then you're casting it to go right away.
You're, I think, opening it up to graveyard hate, but this way you could be getting... Are you casting it? Are you playing...
Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if you didn't cast it from your hand...
I was going to say, you're not getting around counter spells by discarding it or anything, which could have been kind of cool, but...
Who plays with counter spells?
Number two,
yeah. He flashed it all over Twitter this week. Just flashing his junk. Damn counterspell.
Is that what counterspells are?
Junk.
So I think this is going to could be kind of an interesting thing, but it's definitely not traditional reanimator if you're trying to cast them from your graveyard. So you can still have like animate dead, reanimate, those kind of cards in your deck, just to cheat on it. But it'll be interesting. I don't know where I'm at this point.
So that you're not heavily peeing on this one yet. You're just kind of like getting it ready.
Tinkle. Because Angie seems like straight up like combo in my mind. Like I can't not do combo at this point. So I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
and Grevin
try
looks
to stay
awful.
away from the combo stuff. All right, the next one, I think number 2 wanted to build this deck actually is
for sure.
Elsha of the Infinite. It is 2 blue, red, and white. A Jin Monk, 3/3, has prowess. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast the top card of your library if it's a non-creature, non-land card, and may cast it as though it had flash. So you can cast basically like things that don't normally...
Artifacts, enchantments, sorceries.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Giving it prowess is meh in my mind.
It's just an added bonus, I guess.
But just being able to play cards off the top of your library, there are some of these effects, but they generally are like instants and sorceries.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool that you don't have to stick to the instant sorcery
this
angle.
Feels like it would either go in like a Kikar deck or Kikar goes in that deck. Mm-hmm. They both feel pretty decent together. Next one's going to be Graven Predator Captain, 3 colorless, black and a red for 5/5 with menace. And then Graven Predator Captain gets +X/+O, where X is the amount of life you've lost this turn. Whenever Graven attacks, you may sacrifice a creature, and if you do, you get to draw cards equal to its power, and you lose life to its toughness?
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
No, it sounds awful.
That's pretty crazy.
Why is that crazy?
Kill somebody with commander damage.
Is it? You got to have like a huge ass on that, and then you're...
Drawing cards off of it, too. You can have a lot of stuff that's dealing yourself damage, too, to keep pumping them up.
This seems like
and he has a little bit of evasiveness to him with the menace. A little bit?
A little bit?
Just a little bit.
So block with 2... Just how are you going to kill somebody with commander damage? They block 2 creatures that can... Because if it pumped the defense of Graven, I'd be much happier. But just blocking 2 creatures into a X5, that's easy. Just kill it.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to build a deck with it. I just said it was interesting.
Kill it.
I mean, anything that gets you to draw cards with its ability of attacking is kind of nice. I like that.
As a commander, I don't like it. In the 99, I might not hate it. Might.
All right, next one. Cat Warrior. We have Marisi. Breaker of of the coil. It is 1 red, green, white. Like I said, it's a cat warrior. It's a little inside joke with Trombley and Cat Warrior. Your opponents can't cast spells during combat. Whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, goad each creature that player controls. And he's a 5/4. It's pretty crazy. I like this guy as a commander.
Yeah, so I misread that totally.
Did you just think it was goad 1 creature?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's each creature. So if
as long as one
of
creature
your
gets
creature,
through,
yeah.
then it goes all of their. Holy shit.
Here's the funny thing. So I'm going to kind of... I started listening to Goldfish before when I was driving down here, and they were breaking down Commander, and I was like, I can't listen to them because I don't want to have any of the same takes or any of that crap. But one of their takes was that they didn't like the goad mechanic, and I was just like, we really like goad. Like that's
again, like Disrupt Decorum seemed like awesome in this deck.
Yeah.
But also that's a powerful card.
Like the thing about goad is like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, they have to attack, but they have to attack and it's not attacking you and it's leaving them open. Like there's a lot of shit that happens when somebody gets goaded. It sounds really bad. Like it sounds like it's a sexual thing. Oh, dude, you just got goaded. When you passed out last night, they were goading you. Just feels like it's something with like a taint.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Like a chode.
Yeah.
Like,
well, no, chode is bigger round than length.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, chode is you're bigger around than.
I've never had to try and figure it out. Nobody's ever called me a chode, so I'm just like, what's chode?
There was one guy at my high school that was rumored that he had a chode.
I don't want it.
So it was like a tuna can is like the best.
A tuna can.
Yeah, so it's wide and not very tall.
That sounds like a pancake dick, like just flat and floppy. I don't know about that.
Of course, we get into dick talk.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Grandma, if you made it this far, I'm sorry.
Oh, but this seems really cool. Like, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could go about this. You could go a bunch of little creatures that have flying and just get over and you just deal just 1 damage to each player and they're having to attack each other. If you're able to do it each turn, once you're able to hit each one of them, they're all tapped out pretty much unless they cast a creature.
That could block whatever creature you have getting through.
Yeah, so you just keep... If you have enough little guys, I could see you just going that route and having all your opponents kill each other. It seems like a pretty ridiculous card. I think this is a good...
For sure.
Good commander.
I thought... So, like, me thinking that you could goad 1 creature... I was like, that's a really powerful card.
But
now it's crazy.
Yeah.
And because I was already leaning this way with the Populate deck.
And then Trombley's like, I got to build that.
I might still build it. I have 20. I'm going to have fucking 20 decks. Mm-hmm. I don't have to play it around Trombley. Mm-hmm. So keep building. Don't worry, buddy.
I already called them all. So even this next card.
No, I did not call this one. Pramicon, Sky Rampart, blue, red, white.
It's red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do the jokes here.
We're gonna do the jokes here.
I don't know if we are.
There's a hidden meaning to this card. It's kind of crazy. 1/5
flying defender, like Department of Defender.
No, we're not going that in depth with it. But the fact that it's
Pramicon, a wall. Red, white, and blue, legendary wall.
And then you have to choose if you're going left or you're going right. Like that's something because you pointed out the whole. Politics thing about it, and then I was like, I think you're right. I mean, it even has you choose if you're going left or right. Like, it's totally a freaking politics card, which is crazy in this day and age right now. So we won't go in depth with it, but it's kind of interesting. But anyways, you have to choose left or right, and you can only
each player may attack only nearest opponent at the chosen direction, and Planeswalker is controlled by that.
I did listen to Fast Finance last week, and they talked about there's another card that's out there that does the same thing where you choose left and right.
Yeah,
if you choose the opposite, then no one can attack.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah,
but it's a bad enchantment.
Yeah, but they looked it up to make sure that each one is checking, so then it's making it so you can't attack either way.
I'm just glad that somebody can't read really well, because then they'd be wanting flying walls, and that'd be awful. That costs so much more money.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Ryami? That sounds right.
Ryami?
Ryami. First of the Fallen. 1 black, green, blue. It is a vampire. 5/4. If a non-token creature would die, exile that card with a blood counter on it. As long as the exiled creature card has basically your flying, first strike, what else do we have? Double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, protection.
Oh, that's kind of nice that they put that there. Yeah.
Reach, trample, and vigilance. So everything but...
What do you think they stopped? I feel like they could have went like with like 2 more words, went around the hollow foil at the bottom there.
Well, what else could they add? One thing.
What else could
Shroud.
they add? Yeah.
Banding.
Shroud, hexproof, banding. That is one.
Phasing.
I'm just repeating you at this point.
I think this
Rampage.
is pretty interesting, but you're built off of a deck that's just going to kill shit, just so he can gain all of it. But it's
well, wouldn't you be playing with creatures with a ton of like keywords to allow?
Yeah, because you're killing your own would die.
It doesn't have to be your own, does it?
Well, no, but you can set it up, is what I'm saying.
Sure, yeah.
And put in a lot of keyword stuff to it.
I don't really like exiling my graveyard.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
But it is kind of nice to exile their graveyard, like the creatures going into the graveyard. Like that's kind of nice. Like it's a graveyard hate.
So it'd be more of a Voltron deck where you're going to build this guy to be commander damage, kill the person because it's gaining all that stuff.
Yeah, because you'd want to like 5/4. I'd want to go like double strike, trample, flying.
But you're not going to get double strike with black, green, and blue. So you're going to have to go death touch, trample, flying. What else do we have in there? Like menace. What else? A green
hexproof, indestructible.
But you probably wouldn't get double strike.
I was just reading what is on there. Yeah, I don't know.
This is a good idea. Read what's on there and then decide which ones it doesn't work with.
Because I liked building with Soul Flare, which is from like Khan's block, but that I think is going to be enabled a lot better. Like this, I don't know. It feels like way too random to not be powerful. Maybe that's the point of the card though, is like it can be really powerful if you're at a powerful like play style where people are throwing out huge creatures with abilities, or if they're like not as good at decks, this doesn't get as good, and so it's kind of toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
So that could be how this goes a little bit too.
Yeah, and I'm kind of on the boat where you said with the other one is I don't know if I would want this as my commander necessarily, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know if I'd have it in a deck without it being the commander, you know? So
I don't think I would.
I just don't think I'll play with it.
Good call.
All right, you're on the next one.
Volrath, the Shape Stealer. This is the one that I already have a deck for. 2 colorless, black, green, blue.
How? That hasn't even come out yet, Lowry.
I have a deck with it.
Such a cheater. You don't own the card.
I haven't played a game yet, so I'm not officially cheating. It's a 7/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a -1/-1 counter on top of, or on up to 1 target creature.
Put it underneath the creature.
Yeah, and then that's cheating.
It balances.
You're going to get a bent card that way. You can pay 1, and then until your next turn, Volrath, the Shape Stealer, becomes a copy of target creature with a counter on it, except it's a 7/5 and has this ability.
It's pretty crazy. First off, 5 mana for a 7/5 is pretty crazy by itself.
That seems cool.
Yeah, but then its abilities of tap 1, you can do this multiple times. You can pick another creature in its place, except it's 7/5 and has this ability, so you can keep switching it around.
So you could pick one, do like a tap ability. If it, obviously it's been around for a turn or whatever. And then you can tap 1, give it indestructible. Yeah. If somebody's trying to kill it.
Well,
or
so you say it's
hexproof.
Yeah, you get one of your creatures has that, and then you just throw the -1 counter
and
on that.
And you're able to just give it flying if you want. With you're able to just choose and pick whatever you need, whatever you want. Like I'm messing around with Persist, Undying.
Again, this is probably a Voltron kind of. This is the one that's going to kill the people. 3 hits with the 7/5.
Yeah, the 7/5 is a key. Like the 7 being able to do 3, because it doesn't really change anything until you get to 11 and go down to 2. So it seems like a really, really cool, powerful card.
This seems like a lot of fun. I like it.
So I definitely the only thing is putting 1 -1/-1 counters on super own. Powerful. Yeah. Because you can do it on theirs, but you're having creatures with +1/+1 counters because you don't want to put -1/-1 counters on yours.
I guess that's the tough part is there isn't a mass way to put I wasn't even thinking about the beginning part. It's at the beginning of your combat, you put the -1 counter. It isn't like, I mean, you can do -1. No, it has to be from that. So you can't put.
What? No. You can. It's any counter.
Okay, it is -1. Where was the blood counter thing? Was that the other card?
Oh, I don't remember blood counter.
Oh, that was the last card we were reading. I was like, wait, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it does not.
But yeah, so then you just have a -1. You're playing a -1 counter deck a little bit.
No. Like mine is +1 counters, and then I'm just trying to be able to hand out -1 counters.
That's
for
what
the
your
opponents.
deck that you built?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a back and forth, but like, so if you're putting 1/1 counters on your deck, but you also have like mass -1 counters, sometimes you can like play with persist and
Cauldron of Souls.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Undying comes back with a +1/+1 counter. Then you can give everything -1/-1, which takes that off, which could give it Undying again. So we'll see how it goes.
You haven't messed around with it yet? You have it built, though.
I have it built, yeah.
All right, next one is Commander's Insignia. This is 2 and 2 white enchantment. Creatures you control get 1/+1 for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. Interesting. I mean, that's really all that we have to say about it. I
would want that in. I would want this in a deck with like a commander that's
commander cat
3 or less.
So you're looking at Raya as one of them that could be in there because it's the one green and
Reese.
Rise.
RHYS.
Yeah.
I would maybe consider it in Feather. Because I cast it 5 times.
Yeah, that's a good point. What, you got him up to 13 commander, something like that?
That was stupid.
Well, it wouldn't be 13, but
either 13 or 15.
Was it?
I was at because it's 3 plus 2, 2, 2.
Yeah.
Next one, Doomed Artisan, 2 colorless and a white for a 1/1. Sculptures you control can't attack or block, so they can just suck. At the beginning of your end step, create a colorless sculptor artifact creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of sculptors you control.
So it just hit me now. You just needed to kill this guy, and then all your guys can attack.
For sure.
Yeah, I was like, God, this card, like, it just seems like it's working with your artifacts. You get more and more artifacts, like if you have an artifact deck, but you just build up an army, and then at some point have a way to sacrifice this or kill it, and then they can all attack, and they're as big as how many there are.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a decent populate target.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that something that you would want to populate because you can't do anything with it until Doomed Artisan dies? Like, it seems really weird.
It could. I think it could be interesting.
I think Voice of Resurgence is just like better, like straight better.
How much is that to come out?
Green white, 2/2. Whenever an opponent plays a spell on your turn, you put a star for as many creatures as you control.
Yeah,
and then if it dies, it gets that token. I think this year you're going to get more tokens.
Yeah.
I think Voice of Resurgent, you're just going to get a bigger token. Like it works with more things.
Think this has an aspect to it where beginning when you cast it, people are going to come at you because you don't want it to die. You know, if this is your only blocker, but if this is mid-late game and you've had it out for a while, I don't think at first it's going to seem very threatening, but then they're not going to come at you because they don't want you to kill that, and all of a sudden you have, let's say you had 6 of them out, you have 6/6/6s sitting there. Like, that's pretty crazy.
This is Mark of the Devil.
Sorry, 7/7/7s. A little
Sure.
better.
Yeah, no. You're going to cut that last part?
Yeah, right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you can cast this early and no one's really going to look at it and be like, oh, don't worry, I'm making these, but they can't attack or block. You guys are good. It's not going to seem threatening early on, but you get a little bit later into the game, once you've had 5 or 6 of them out, at that point, people are going to stop attacking you.
And maybe another way to add on to that is, like, is there a way to, like, if you crew with these sculptors, like, it doesn't say you can't tap them, you just can't attack or block.
That's a good idea. I like that.
And so,
because then your crew costs, because each time they makes another one,
it could be higher and higher, even though you can't do shit with those tokens until.
I like that. I like that angle of it.
Maybe even the other thing I was just thinking about, just like cards that I like. Opposition, tap a creature, tap another creature. So maybe stuff like that.
See, and that's originally when I read the card, I thought it was that you're using the tokens for other things, and I didn't realize, because I always thought that they couldn't attack or block until until you were reading it, and I was like, oh, it's this card that's making them not attack or block.
Kind of similar to
the warrior token, no, the coward,
the survivors,
survivor tokens
from last year. Shit, what is that? I'm a survivor.
Going back to your song,
I don't.
That's the red dude that makes survivors.
I love that card.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet card.
So that maybe we spent too much time on this card.
All right. Am I on the next one? Yeah. Mandate of Peace. 1 and 1 white instant. Cast a spell only during combat. Your opponents can't cast spells this turn. End the combat phase. So you just make them not attack.
And they can't cast spells for those turn.
So as long as if they're do like a normal, not normal, but a lot of people
like
will
if they wait until their
second main phase.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I saw a lot of people saying just like put this on Isakron Scepter and just
be a douche.
Sometimes people come out and you can just get their Kalia deck. Don't let them attack.
Yeah.
Boom.
Kalia. Bad memories of last week.
Song of the World Soul. 4 colorless, white. It's an enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell, populate.
This seems pretty sweet.
Does it?
I mean, the casting cost throws it down a little bit, but I like the whenever you cast a spell, populate.
That was my problem.
If it was, I think 5, it would be kind of ideal. 4 would be awesome. But I still think it's usable in Commander.
What, so like, what is the, shit. What's not populate, but you can add 1 to everything that Atraxa does.
Oh man, I'm brain farting.
Yeah, I know. This is awful. Hi, we do a podcast about Magic, and we can't remember a very popular. It's not populate.
I want to figure it out without looking it up.
Yeah, but you're looking it up.
I'm gonna click.
Thank God.
Fuck it.
I'm sure there are people just yelling at us. It's
proliferate.
This, you big dumb dumb.
Damn it! It's proliferate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you could choose as many tokens as there were. Yeah.
So there's the inexorable tide that proliferates whenever you play a spell.
Yeah.
That's 2 blue, 3 colorless, and that one's good. But there's more targets.
Really
that has more like targets though. This is if you don't. It's a bad card if you don't have any tokens.
Mm-hmm. But it's also the same thing if you don't have any tokens on stuff.
But there's just more targets that you can do. Like with having a token in play, there's only like
I agree. I to be honest with you, I a lot of times get populate. I don't use it in any decks until now I'm gonna use it.
Sure.
I always, whenever I see populate, I always think it's every token that you have. Make another one of those tokens.
Which it's not.
No, it's just only one token.
Yeah. So if you got an 0-1 egg, awesome.
So they need to come up with a mechanic that's called Mega Populate, where it just it does every token.
You could call it Overpopulate.
There we go. Oh, I like that. Damn it! I wish I would have came up with that.
That would have been a good one if you did it. But since it was me, it's probably bad.
Meh. Yeah.
Bad idea, Lowry.
All right, next one.
Thalia's Geist Caller. 2 colorless and a white for a 3/1 lifelink. Whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Sacrifice a spirit. Thalia's Geist Caller gains indestructible until end of turn.
Spirit deck. Do you have spirit? Yes, you do.
Should be called Homecoming Thalia's Geist? No, that's bad.
Take it back. So this is going in your Kaka, whatever.
Kikar. Which we're never getting to, by the way, now.
Oh, yeah, because
there's no way we're getting to it.
Is that going to go in that deck?
No.
No?
Maybe.
I mean, it works with spirits.
I don't know. I just don't play many creatures in that one. So I don't know if a 3/1 is something that I want to sacrifice spirits to.
Oh. All right. And then this one next, right? Yeah.
For sure. I like
Mass Diminish. 1 and 1 blue sorcery. Until your next turn, creatures target player controls has a base power of 1/1. power and toughness 1/1. So they turn into little 1/1s, and then it has flashback 3 and a blue. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
it's a good way to wipe the board if their creatures are huge and you.
So there's a I can't quite remember the card, but it's blue, colorless, instant. Turn all target opponent's player like creatures 1/1 frogs.
Mm-hmm.
Play that and Niv Mizzet Perun, like you get to just start
pinging them off.
Same thing with this, only you can do it again. Like that feels really good in Niv Mizzet Perun. And just like, because this is sorcery though, right?
Yeah, sorcery.
So it kind of probably lets your guys get through, but they're super weak. I like this card a lot. Probably never play it, but I like it a lot.
For 2, that's a really good drop for 2,
yeah,
and potentially playing it again.
Damn it. I didn't want to land on this one. I don't know how I feel. Okay, sudden substitution. 2 colorless, blue, instant. It has split second. Exchange control of target non-creature spell and target creature. Then the spell's controller may choose new targets for it.
You didn't want to land on it because this is confusing as shit, isn't it?
I don't.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I read this card and I was like, I think because of the split second and all that stuff that's happening with it, I'm like, I don't ever want to play this card. I'm never going to play this card.
Okay, so
let's work this out.
Somebody casts a non-creature spell.
So let's say do a brainstorm.
So brainstorm. Then you cast this.
You exchange control of target non-creature spell, so brainstorm, target creature.
Yeah, so you're trying to gain an advantage here. Like, I wouldn't do it. Okay, brainstorm's a bad one, right? Let's use a brainstorm. Oh, you get to draw 3 and then put 2
But then you're also exchanging...
but you're giving them a creature. You can't just exchange 2 but get the brainstorm. You have to give them a creature for the spell. Right?
This spell... Then the spell's controller may choose new targets. Okay, so you can take the... So you give them a creature in exchange for the spell.
Let's say Swords to Plowshare. They cast Swords to Plowshare targeting one of your creatures.
Then you cast one of theirs
to take Swords to Plowshare and give them your worst creature. And then use Swords to Plowshare to kill that player's best creature in retaliation, or just the best creature on the board. Which they probably misplayed if there's another creature to kill.
Yeah, see, this just seems... I mean, I guess because the split second is nice, but this seems...
Yeah, they can't counterspell it. So you're able to stop somebody's spot removal.
Yeah.
And then
But you have to sacrifice by giving away one of your creatures.
And you got to kind of hope that you got a shitty creature to give. But that tells me then you're playing shitty creatures, which you probably shouldn't be playing.
Whoa. Exchange control of target non-creature spell and target creature. Does that mean that you can... It doesn't say you control.
But then you don't get to take control of the kill spell. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could give somebody else the advantage of that non-creature spell, but you're exchanging control. So if you want to control the spell, you need to give them a creature.
Okay.
If you want to give...
What if you wanted to take a creature? Exchange control of target non-creature spell, and target creature. So couldn't you exchange control by taking somebody's creature?
That's an interesting way.
What I'm saying?
And play a spell and then cast this on top of it. Give them that spell and take their awesome creature. That could be cool.
So I don't know.
I think that's real.
Because it doesn't say target creature you control. It just says target creature.
I was just trying to think of how you could take advantage of the spell, but if you're trying to take advantage of the creature, that's a really cool angle. Because that way you can just be
but the other thing, what if it was you still casting the spell? Let's say you cast the spell.
I'm casting Brainstorm.
Okay, and we have, let's say, Jeremy over here,
and he has a creature this, I'm sure,
and he has a creature that I want. Can I exchange the control of the spell for the creature, or would you get his creature?
I'd get the creature.
Okay. So the spell has to come from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and whoever the creature came from, they get the spell.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
But still, that's really cool to just think of it as
you cast a brainstorm creature. Or cast something that's just like, I don't know. But
like a cheap, easy brainstorm isn't bad. Like ancestral.
Yeah.
Something.
Give your creature
preordain
first strike
or something. Just give them a little card draw.
Yeah, and then you take their creature. Right? We're reading this all right?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be an instant or sorcery either. It could be a non-creature spell that like doesn't mean like you could cast a late game mana rock and just give them a mana rock and steal their best creature.
Yeah.
That seems pretty cool. Yeah, so this is confusing.
Yeah.
I think we got
it right. That's so funny you did the same thing, because when I read it, I was like, well, this isn't a card I'm playing, because this seems way too confusing, because it's going to be a 10-minute conversation every time we fucking play this card.
Are you doing that right? No, that seems really cool.
All right, the next card, I like this card a lot. Thought Sponge. It's 3 and a blue, 1/1 flash. It enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the greatest number of cards an opponent has drawn this turn. When it dies, draw cards equal to its power. Equal to the greatest number of cards an opponent. Yeah. So if somebody's, I guess the least amount it comes in is 1.
And when it dies, you get to draw a card?
Yeah.
Unless somebody gives it like -1/-1 and just like...
But I guess how I was thinking of this is you're more playing this in a deck that you're making everybody draw. So a Nekasar kind of deck.
Yeah, that's not a bad way.
You play it, you draw, you get, he's bigger. Oh, he's not flying. I'm not as keen about this now that I talk about it a little bit more out loud.
When I say these words out loud,
I think I'm more excited about the next card, the next wall.
The Wall of Stolen Identity.
Yeah, this card's sweet.
Are there any political jokes we want to do about this wall? No? All right. 3 colorless blue. You may have Wall of Stolen Identity enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's a wall in addition to the other types and has Defender. When you do, tap the copied creature, and it doesn't untap during that controller's untap step for the rest of the time you control Wall of Stolen Identities.
That's pretty sweet.
Tapping down a pretty cool creature, and... I mean, you don't get to attack with it, but in Arcades, seems crazy.
Can. Yeah, that's definitely going in there.
Do you think it's over 21, or is that why they have a fake ID? Wall of fake ID. Don't shake your head. That was good.
Move on.
That was a good, funny laugher.
Is this guy new?
Yeah.
Okay. So Archfiend of Spite, 5 and 2 black, demon, 6/6 flying. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to Archfiend, that source's controller loses that much life unless they sacrifice that many permanents. It also has Madness, 3 and 2 black. So it's kind of like an added Phyrexian Obliterator. Yeah. It added the life in instead of having to sacrifice permanents all the time. So interesting. I like the Madness being 5 for a 6/6 flying.
Sure, the Madness part, like this goes in a Madness deck.
Mm-hmm.
Legit.
Like auto include there.
This is probably the best Madness card ever made.
Which isn't that crazy.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
All right, next card. We have a return of a character.
Bone Miser, 4 colorless and a black for a 4/4 zombie wizard. Whenever you discard a creature card, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Whenever you discard a land card, add 2 black mana to your mana pool. Or whenever you discard a non-creature, non-land card, draw a card.
So it's waste not, but going again for you, the bonus, instead of your opponents.
And it's a creature.
Yeah. It's a 4/4.
I like waste not better.
Yeah, well, it's a 2-drop.
It's a lot easier.
And then you can hit more people with it, and you get the bonus of having all that. This is just you. So
it's just you.
But you can control it a little bit more.
Putting this in like Chainer deck where you're just like, or fucking Angie is ridiculous with this card, I think. But like playing it fair with like Chainer, just discard a card. If it's a creature card, you create a zombie and then maybe cast that creature.
Yeah.
So seems pretty cool.
Next card, Curse of Fool's Wisdom, 4 and 2 black. This is a really high casting cost curse, but enchant player. Whenever enchanted player draws a card, they lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. It does have Madness of 3 and a black.
I lied. This is probably the best Madness card.
That's okay.
1A, 1B. That's pretty good. If you're playing this in like a Howling Mind deck where you want other people, like again, a Nekasar.
Nekasar deck would be good.
This is quite good.
It just you have to have the madness part of it, because the 6 is kind of a lot for its ability to target one player.
I could easily put this in like the Xancha deck that I built last year.
I just with the Nekasar example, I guess with my Nekasar deck, it's almost every card in there is supposed to spread it like it's everybody hit, and this just being targeting one person, I don't like that.
It could be really nice late game when you're down to like 1 or 2 players where you need to get rid of
just one of them. Yeah, I definitely agree.
But yeah,
was this? Yeah, okay. On you.
Gift of Doom, 4 colorless and a black aura. Enchanted creature. I actually can't read this.
Enchanted creature has death touch and indestructible. It has morph, sacrifice another creature. As Gift of Doom is turned faced up, you may attach it to a creature. That's interesting.
Is that one of the better morph cards?
Is this our first like enchantment that flips over?
I believe so.
That's pretty sweet. Or aura?
No. Aura, definitely. Yeah. Enchantment, there is one from Khan's block that like comes into play. There's a land that has morph, which is wow.
Isn't this one new?
Nope.
No? Jeez. How do you know these off the top of your head? I like Ingaruk's Wake. That's back. That's pretty sweet. Go ahead.
Sweet. Nightmare Unmaking. 3 colorless, black and a black for sorcery. Choose one of them. Exile each creature with power greater than the number of cards in your hand, or exile each creature with power less than the number of cards in your hand.
Pretty sweet. It's good removal. Get rid of a lot of shit.
So I know this is really niche, but like one-sided Wrath, if you just have all of your creatures with power like 4 and you have 4 cards in your hand,
just wipe everybody else's
whatever is best, and you don't get rid of any of your creatures. That sounds stupid. I don't know.
Or it's
I don't know.
Full-blown Wrath if you have 0 cards.
Like, is this something that you're like cheating, like reanimating big creatures into play, and then you cast this to kill all the little creatures?
I don't know.
You're not being helpful. I don't know how to use this. I want to know how to use this.
Good mass removal, but I like the exile.
I don't know. I'd rather
know
play
for sure what you want
wraths.
to kill. Yeah.
I'd want it in there for a reason, and if I don't know the reason, it's hard to play it.
Was that one?
Nope.
No. All right, so now we have an ape snake. Thieving amalgam.
What do you think is the noise of an ape snake?
Ass! How about I said ass? Ass!
Probably close. It's a baboon.
5 and 2 black. It is a 6/7.
I think it is a baboon phase too.
Yeah, it is a baboon phase. Yeah. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may manifest the top card of that player's library. Whenever a creature you control but don't own dies, its owner loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. It's kind of cool. Manifest. Why do they always have the little manifest ball in the background?
Just to let you know how to manifest.
It's like, hey, it's a manifest card. We got the balls of manifest.
This is what I mean. Yeah, why don't they have like morph in the background of every morph card?
What the hell does morph look like though?
It's very similar, different shade of blue, like light blue, maybe
is
gray.
It?
I don't know. I'm not paying attention. They have tokens for it though.
This seems interesting. I just wish it wasn't a 7 casting cost for this fucking thing. But yeah, you're manifesting the top card of everybody else's library, which is pretty sweet.
Verdant Force is not good anymore, but it used to be good when you got a creature. You got a 1/1 sapperling at the beginning of every upkeep. This you're getting a 2/2
that you can potentially flip over,
and it's still dealing damage, or like if it's dying, like it seems sweet.
Yeah. Moving on.
Backdraft Hellkite, 3 colorless, red 4/4 flyer dragon. Whenever Backdraft Hellkite attacks, each instant sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to the mana cost. How's this card $2?
What, you think it should be a lot more?
This card is bonkers. This goes in a ton of decks.
Yeah.
Not decks I play as much.
A ton of decks.
Yeah, no, it's good with the flashback and everything.
Because it doesn't
it's a
even have to
5-drop
be-
for that too to get out.
Yeah, this doesn't have to be like a flashback-oriented deck. You just have a 5/5/4/4 flying dragon that when it attacks, like if somebody's like, I'm going to block and kill it, you're like, I'm going to replay removal from my graveyard to have it survive. And then you're just slowly grinding away. This is straight card advantage in my mind. This card is really good.
As I said unto you to text, I don't know why every picture of dragons is this image.
Very similar. Yeah, you thought it was a reprint.
I did. I was like, that's a reprint. And I was like, oh, wait, no, it's just the way they like to draw dragons. This guy?
Yeah, this card's
I like it a lot. Dockside Extortionist. It is 1/1 red goblin pirate. 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments your opponents control.
Yeah.
So that's freaking sweet. With all like Commander,
Mana rocks.
yeah,
Pillow forting.
this gets you so much advantage.
This goes infinite with Deadeye Navigator. Super easy. Like not even trying.
Yeah, just keep flipping it.
Yeah. All it has to do is make 3,
and then you get as many.
You get as many as you want. It's
that's why it's a $20 card right now.
yeah,
supposedly.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I think it might go down, but this might be the chase card in the set.
I was gonna say this is the red staple. This is our
sure.
What was the goblin from last set from Commander? It was
Treasure Nabber.
I like that guy still. Like he's still, but this is
card's
better.
Just way better.
Yeah.
This card's just better.
We all have to hope this drops down below $5 because then you just pick up a crap ton of these.
Yeah, no, this card
goes
crazy.
in every red deck. All right, next card. That guy.
I mean, I think we can skip it, but Ignite the Future, 3 colorless red for a sorcery. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. If that spell was cast from a graveyard, you may play cards this way without paying their mana cost.
If this spell was...
Yeah, if this one. Yeah, sorry. Flashback, 7 and a red. This seems bad. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so inconsistent.
I guess
It's
it
not
gives
good
you until
draw.
the end of your next turn.
For consistency's sake, there is like Commune with Lava, which is X red instant, and you can play those cards until the end of your next turn.
No, this does say play and not cast, so you can play land.
Yeah, I think Commune with Lava might do that too. Like, it just... Like, being able to play spells for free is really powerful, so that's where... But paying 8 to do it...
Yeah. Well, if you pay 8, then you should be able to cast pretty much anything you flip over. Or that.
For sure. Like, if you just would draw some cards, you'd be able to play spells. I don't know. I think it's a little wonky.
All right, the next one is Skyfire Phoenix, 2 and 2 red, 3/3 flying haste. Whenever you cast your commander, return this from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's your Phoenix ability.
Yeah, but I do like that it's like focused on playing your commander.
Yeah, I do like that they added that in.
Go back.
Yeah.
So, it's cool. Tectonic Hellion, 5 colorless red for an 8/5 haste. Whenever Tectonic Hellion attacks, each player who controls the most lands sacrifices 2. Ooh. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I really
haste.
like it that it's not like it's targeting somebody. Like if somebody gets mana screwed and you're like, I'm going to get you out of the game, attack, you're down to 1.
Yeah.
Like
it goes for somebody that's way ahead. And you're not going to do it to yourself because it could do it to yourself if you were tied or
that's true. It could do that for you. So do you leave that back as
in
a
your
blocker?
hand? Or you just keep it in your hand? Although that's
that's boring.
It's 5 haste, but the haste part is awesome because you can do it that turn. So
it's 7 mana for an 8/5
land,
attacker that can
remove 2
land.
Potentially 4, 6 depends on how many people have the most land. Yeah. These devils new.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Wildfire Devils, 3 and a red, 4/2 devil. When it enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your upkeep, choose a player at random. That player exiles an instant or sorcery card from their graveyard. Copy that card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. That's interesting, because you don't have to attack with it. It's just at the beginning of your upkeep and when it enters. So you get it the turn it comes in, which is kind of cool, and then your next upkeep you get to do that.
Because I was thinking, I forgot about the random part, but it's like if you were teaming up on a person, you could be like, "Hey, let me cast
Take that." Yeah,
that seems sweet. But like with it being random,
it's also removes stuff. It removes it from their graveyard. But the part that could kind of suck is you're doing random, and if you hit somebody that doesn't have an instant sorcery, you're just like, well, that sucks because you can't.
That's not good.
It's not a staple card, but it's an interesting card.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Is it? So it's not casting it from a graveyard?
You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost.
Okay. So it doesn't really work with Savine where like it doubles when you're casting, but it's not. It's only your graveyard, not opponents. So if you're playing Dire Fleet Daredevil from like the Ixalan block, where you're like casting other people's instant sorceries,
you just got to count on them playing a lot of instants and sorceries, and that you actually,
like you said,
the randomness kind of sucks because you might not hit that person. You know, it might be somebody that doesn't have it each time. You may hit that person. It's like, well,
I mean, when randomness comes to Magic, it's always the person that benefits you the least. Mm-hmm. That's how random works. Mm-hmm. Or if you're discarding randomly, it's always your best card. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how I always look at it. Thusly, never play random. Maybe gamble if I'm like, I want cards going to my graveyard. But this is a stretch for me.
Move on to the dinosaur.
Apex Altasaur.
Everybody walk the dinosaur. Ooh, ooh, aka laka laka ooh, 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 aka laka ooh, ah.
7 colorless, green. It's a 10/10. When Apex Altasaur enters the battlefield, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. It has Enrage. Whenever Apex Altasaur is dealt damage, it fights up to one target creature you don't control.
When you see 10/10, you feel like they should be Trample in there. And it's a dinosaur.
Yeah, well, this doesn't... I mean, the thing is, it's not a May trigger, so, like, it kills as many creatures as it can until it dies.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so you're going to hit right away.
So if they have more than 10 power, like, you need to choose specifically what cards you're trying to kill.
Yeah.
If you have Vigor out, you just won the game.
Yeah.
So like you just created like a 30-30. So
because I guess the trample doesn't even matter because you're never gonna get. I mean, by the time you're gonna wipe the board,
you're either wiping the board or getting rid of all the big creatures that you can, or whatever. It's either going to win you the game or die.
When it enters, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. So you don't have to fight the first time it comes in.
Sure. Okay.
Because it says up
I want to play a 10/10 for 9. Straight
and not
up.
do anything.
I don't want to do it.
But like, if you don't want it to die, what if it's a death touch?
If that 10/10 saves me, I have to be able to block that one creature.
But you have a choice. You don't have to. We don't always have to fight, Lowry.
You got me. You got me.
All right, next one is Full Flowering. This is XX green sorcery populate X times.
This seems good.
Pretty self-explanatory with that.
This one I really liked.
Yeah, this one's sweet.
Oran Frostfang, 3 colorless, green. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card for a 2/6.
That's pretty crazy. For a 5-drop, they're making some, and it's a snow creature.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that until just now. No? Yeah.
How about you read our Twitter?
Oh, I didn't see that. What?
Actually, I don't know if I mentioned that it was a snow creature.
Oh, really?
But I totally saw it.
I did not. I just saw it now. They're really not ramping in, but they're dabbling in. Yeah,
definitely not ramping in.
Ramping in one creature to snow, but they hadn't had snow until now. So Modern Horizons, they didn't really put snow in Commander. They haven't.
Not in Commander. Yeah.
So they're making snakes pretty sweet.
Agreed. Maybe they're going to give it a little bit of more support.
Where's our snake commander?
We do have a snake commander.
Which one?
I don't know. Somebody on Twitter told us, and I totally forgot.
It's
from Azuri, the Azuri deck with like.
So it's green
from
blue
years ago. Yeah, it's green blue. You can pay a green blue and give a creature unblockable. If it's snake, it gets +2/+2. Ketsune? Question mark?
Is it?
Katsuni.
What block is it from?
It's from the Azuri.
Oh,
It's
not
from
the
the Commander
Kamigawa
set.
stuff?
No.
Oh, okay. Because that's when they had like the Snake Ninja or whatever
Yeah.
those things were. Those aren't
They're
real
just
snakes.
snakes.
Those are like people snakes.
Not gonna lie, I don't know. I got you.
They almost look like Nagas.
Yeah, they should have been the same thing.
Yeah.
Nagas should have been like snake demon priests.
All right. Road of Return. 2 green sorcery. Choose one. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Put your commander into your hand from your command zone, or you can pay 2 to entwine.
Which is play both of them, which is a weird like way of doing it. It's like you only get to choose one, but if you want to pay 2 more, you get to choose both.
Yeah.
But this card's really good.
Yeah, it's definitely good, especially late game when your commander's died a lot. Put it to your hand, and then
Yeah. And just being able to return a permanent card from your graveyard, like it's not as good as Regrowth, but it's pretty good.
oh, because it's permanent, not just picking any card.
Yeah. And it's green, but it's that added bonus is solid.
yeah, for sure. This guy.
Yeah.
It's
So I got to
you.
read this.
It's you.
I don't even know what it is. Selesnya Eulogist, 2 colorless green for a 3/3. You can pay 2 colorless and a green, exile target creature card from a graveyard, then populate.
It's not too bad. I mean, you can do it multiple times,
True that.
and it doesn't have to be your graveyard, which is kind of nice.
And you get to populate.
Yep. Oh, do I get to do it? Yes.
Yeah, you
All
do.
right. Aeon Engine. This is probably one of my most interesting cards out of this set. I was about to say favorite, but it's probably the most interesting card.
Yeah.
It's a 5-drop artifact. It enters the battlefield tap. You can tap and exile it, reverse the game's turn order, which is going to confuse the shit out of so many people. But you mentioned something on Twitter. I had mentioned something too about like you can do this almost as an extra turn type of thing where you say go and then you tap and exile it after your turn's done and it comes back to you after that person plays. You had mentioned if there's somebody that's really powerful,
Like an arch enemy at the table, you can give everybody that extra turn. It's not just you.
Yeah.
Everybody. Well, not everybody.
it
But
just depends on your
you and another
order.
player,
You know,
yeah.
if the next person is that person, then it doesn't work. But there's some interesting things you could do with this, and I can see this going in quite a few decks because it just. But then the part's
think
going to
it's
be is
crazy
like
enough,
going
yeah.
backwards. You know, you're
have
always
to
used
get
to going
used to it.
clockwise.
You're gonna have to hope that somebody else is playing Aeon Engine.
Yeah, and reverse it.
So
Reverse,
it doesn't
reverse.
confuse you. Yeah, there was the people that previewed this. I might try and sit down and find the video because it was really cool. Where there was 3 of them playing Magic. I don't remember who did it, but Jason Alt
Yeah.
said I can't stop watching it. So they're playing Magic, and 2 of the guys are just like playing Uno. They're like, we're gonna reverse. It's like we're playing Magic, guys. It's like, oh, sorry, we're gonna do Aeon Engine. What the hell is that? And then they like preview the card, and they're like, just 2 of the guys are playing Uno.
That's funny, 'cause I did not see
It was
that.
a cool one. So I'll try and find that and link it.
It
So,
seems interesting.
yeah.
You don't sound excited for it.
I think it's just gonna fuck things up a bit. It's gonna be weird playing with it. Like you might need a reminder token, like which way is the gameplay?
That's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
You got ideas, Larry.
I'm an idea guy. Empowered auto generator, 4 colorless for an artifact.
Enters the battlefield tapped.
And then you can tap it, put a charge counter on Empowered Agitator at X mana of any one other color, not other, where X is the number of charge counters on Engineered Auto Generator.
This is pretty sweet.
Is it?
Well,
It's really expensive.
4. Yeah, the first turn sucks. It comes in. Your next turn, you're getting 1. Your next turn, you're getting 2. Your next turn, you're getting 3. Every time you're doing it, you're getting more and more mana each time. And you don't have to tap mana to do it. You're just tapping it to gain it.
Sure. But, like, okay, so let's say you just went with another 4-mana artifact in Thran Dynamo that can tap right
Gives
away
you
and gives you 3 colorless.
3, that's right.
And so let's say when you get to 3, that's turn 4 with this being into play, and you get 3, 2, 1, so you've generated 6 mana, to whereas Thran Dynamo could potentially generate 12 for you in that time span. Now, if you're like proliferating, maybe that's better. But I feel like this
I would
is super
say
slow.
I was about to say it's late game really good. If you're getting out turn 4. I guess if you're getting it out on that turn 4, it's really good. I mean, if you get it late game, then it's not so good.
Yeah, I just... It's...
And the fact that it's any color with that, too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I know I read it, but...
Well, it's any one color. So it's not a mix of the
okay.
colors.
So maybe it's a little bit better to do like...
If you're in a 3-color deck, 2 to 3 color deck or more.
Okay. The any one color makes it a bit better. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to play with it. I'll admit that.
I will definitely go on a flavor deck, like you said, if it's...
Proliferate or being able to untap artifacts to be able to try and get like an unwinding clock and maybe Voltaic Key or the new key. Or maybe that's starting to work a little bit better.
Is it Seaborn Muse?
Seaborn Muse could help there. Yeah. So, potential?
I like it.
Are people saying it's broken? It looks like it's $5 card, which is more than most of the new ones.
Not more than that one that's 20.
Yeah, sure. That card's crazy, though.
All right. I guess I'm next. Idol of Oblivion. It is 2 for an artifact. You can tap it, draw a card, activate this ability only if you create a token this turn. You can tap 8, sacrifice it, and create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token. That part's interesting. I would have thought it would have been a Colossus, but
yeah,
because that's what the picture looks like.
I feel like that would have been a lot cooler if it was like a throwback to like Colossus of Sardia.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one, I don't fault them because the Eldrazi were like worshipped as gods before they came out from Zendikar.
Yeah,
but I think this is really cool in a token deck. I think
for a 2-drop draw token, yeah, that's pretty good actually.
So if you have anything like, in any heavy token deck, I think this just goes in there.
It's going in my eggs deck
for sure. For sure.
Do we have Key of the City?
Yeah, that's a bad card.
I don't recognize it.
I think we got to talk about that one.
Okay.
I don't think we did. No, we did talk about that one. Scroll of the Fate.
That's you.
Okay. All right, you move the arrow back over. Okay, Scroll of Fate. 3 colorless artifact. Tap, manifest a card from your hand.
I think it's actually pretty good.
I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it's really good?
Because you can get rid of shit, like if it's late game with it, you can throw your land down as a 2/2 if you want.
Mm-hmm. That's not a bad play.
Otherwise, you can put your creatures down. I like the manifest idea of it. I just wish there was a little bit more draw to it, but I think late game this could be really good too.
So this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think it actually has a little bit of play and like legacy. But also, like, you could center a deck around it. So you could cheat in Phyrexian Devour. Shit. It's 1 mana, 12/12 trample when it comes into play. Yep. You got to, like, stifle the effect or whatever. Yep. This would cheat that into play, pay 1, flip it
over.
It's 12/12, didn't do anything. But you can also do that with the Hunted Creatures from Ravnica, where you can, like, just flip in Hunted Horror or Hunted Phantasm or the Troll, and then just pay like 2, 3, or 4 and flip them and not give creatures out.
That's the ones that give benefits to the other players.
Yeah,
right?
So like when Hunted Troll comes into play, it's an 8/4 with Regenerate, but you got to give an opponent 4 1/1 flying fairies.
Same with the blue one that gives
like 5 1/1 goblins, and Hunted Horror does 2 3/3s with protection from green. I want to say Dragon gives out 3 2/2 first strikes knights. But yeah, so you could just flip it and you get around that negative effect, and you're still able to get like a decent creature at a decent effect.
Yeah, it seems like it could be very interesting actually.
So like if you put it into a deck where you're trying to negate ETB effects, like this would just work in there as well. Maybe.
Did we talk? Yeah, we did that, didn't we?
No, that's not a new card.
It isn't?
No. That is, though.
The guy right here?
Yeah.
Grismold the Dread Sour. 1 black and green, trample 3/3. At the beginning of beginning of your end step, each player creates a 1/1 green plant creature token. Whenever a creature token dies, put a 1/1 counter on this guy. Each player.
I think people are really happy about it.
It's a troll shaman. We needed those troll.
With a little jewel in its belly button.
Yeah, that's a treasure troll.
Oh,
Get it right, Lowry.
I'm sorry. It's been a long time. No, I've seen there's Engineered Plague that when it comes into play, you can give a creature type -1/-1. So Engineered Plague, enchantment comes into play, native plant, just kill everybody's plants, give a ton of tokens on a Grismold. You could also do just like effects that give all creatures -1/-1. There's the Engineered Plague Engineer maybe from Modern Horizons.
Oh yeah,
that's the same effect as
creature type, and then
there are a couple of black enchantments that give like creature tokens -1/-1 or -2/-2. Like all those cards would work well with this guy.
And he has trample, which is
he's a legendary creature by the way.
So that's your commander. I mean, that's what you build it around.
I think so.
Yeah.
Tangarth, first mate, 2 colorless, red and a green, 5/5 legendary creature. It can't be blocked by more than one creature. And I'm going to summarize this. If he is tapped and an opponent attacks, you can give Tangarth over to that player attacking, and they can choose to attack an opponent or planeswalker they are already attacking.
So as long as they're not attacking you.
For sure.
Because that wouldn't be smart.
I think you also don't want to... you don't want them to have like sacrifice outlets to just get rid of it.
See ya!
This seems pretty rough.
Yeah.
I don't know about it.
I'm not excited about that one as much, but I think people could do interesting things.
Especially not with, like, people would be like, why are you giving me stuff? I'm going to kill it as fast as possible. And it's like,
Next one is Cliffside Rescuer, 1 and 1 white, vigilance 2/2. Tap it, sacrifice it. Target permanent you control gains protection from each of your opponents until end of turn.
So does that turn it? That's pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really good?
No, because you have to sacrifice it, so you're getting rid of it. And they can see it. They know that it's happening.
It's like True Name Nemesis for one turn.
I prefer Mother of Ruins compared to this, where you're tapping to
The thing, though, is this is any permanent you control.
Yeah.
Mother of Ruins is
just
a creature and from a color, not necessarily an opponent.
It's a one-time use, though.
Yeah.
And you can't do it that turn you come in, so they see it come in, and then you're kind of like...
I would agree with that.
They're going to kill whatever they want to kill before you get around to untapping that guy. Kill him! Is there anything else?
Counterspell.
I think we kind of went through oh, no, this one right here.
Yeah. Mire in Misery. As a colorless and a black sorcery, each opponent sacrifices a creature or enchantment. So a lot of people are going crazy about this because this is Black's only way to interact with enchantments, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. But they get to choose between a creature and an enchantment.
Yeah, so if they have a creature or enchantment, so like they can choose the best of both worlds, but it's literally the only way Black can deal with enchantments. So I think you just go, yeah, that's good.
Then we have Hate Mirage, 3 and a red. Choose up to 2 target creatures you don't control. For each of those creatures, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Those creatures gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. So you can pick some big frickin' creatures to make copies of, depending on what your opponents have. Because it is only your opponent, so
yeah, you can't choose your thing. The picture's kind of funny. Like where there's like the mirage in the background of the 2 that are in the foreground.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck, what are those guys?
I think
that might be it.
Yeah, I think that's it for all our stuff.
No. Yeah, these 2.
Okay, wait, let me make sure. Is there anything?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So our last 2.
Voice of Many, which is 2 colorless, a green and a green for 3/3. When Voice of Many enters the battlefield, draw a card for each opponent who controls fewer creatures than you. Seems kind of cool. Voice of Many is on flavor text. I can't place it right now. I feel like it's in Ravnica. Is that weird?
No idea.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard Voice of Many somewhere, but I can't place it currently.
The last one is Bloodthirsty Blade. We got gold. It's 2 for an equipment. Equipped creature gets 2+0 and is goaded. That creature got goaded. Tap 1. Attach it to target creature an opponent controls. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So you're putting this on somebody else's creature to make them attack everybody else but you. That's pretty sweet. I like it.
Yeah. I think it's really cool. Oh, it's everybody but you?
Well, that's what goading does. It attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able. So if you're 1v1, then you're kind of screwed.
Oh, and is goaded. Okay. Yeah. That seems sweet.
Yeah, for sure. Being able to attach for 1 too. This is for...
I feel like this would work really well in my Xancha deck, just not putting it on Xancha.
Put it on something else.
Yeah, and then just making other people attack.
I think this seems fun in a lot of decks. You know, like, it's just, you put it on the biggest creature that's out there, the biggest threat, and they are no longer a threat to you unless it's 1v1. Yeah.
What are those enchantment, or the auras that you place, and they can't attack you, but they get that bonus? Like +3/+3 and trample.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? Sorry for touching you there.
Hey, buddy.
Good, buddy.
Hey there, buddy.
The vows.
Oh, yeah.
Vow of duty.
Vow of vigor,
like
vow of whatever. That would be
so
the same thing.
Should those auras be changed to like goad this creature? No,
it
would be
because
very different. Yeah.
Those can't even if you're 1v1, they can't attack you.
I think that's definitely the downfall of goad is like
once you get to 1v1,
then it's like, oh, they got I gave them a bonus.
But by the time you're down to 1v1, you kind of have a plan of what you're doing then at that.
Normally it's a shit show for me.
All right, so that is it for our Commander preview stuff. This set seemed, we're at 1:20. That's not bad.
But we also got that
really
great talk that we.
Sorry, an hour 30. I don't know. This seems. Every year I'm excited when they come out with the new stuff, even if the value doesn't hold on some sets.
I think they did a good job with the reprints. You know, just like I think they have some solid, like one really solid card in each box, and then just like solid.
Glad we got Lightning Greaves with some cool art.
New art. If they had like promo art, they used it.
Yeah.
Faithless Looting has like promo art. Sakura Tri-Builder. So I think there's some really cool cards, some really good staples that people would want or need if they don't have a lot of it. So I think this is feels like a much better product than last year.
And then we got the cycling lands, which was kind of cool too. The cycling dual lands, because it has isn't that what it is? Or is it the cycling? Mm-hmm. No, it's the buddy lands. These guys.
Oh yeah. So some of we got some pain lands.
Is that what they are?
We got the Zendikar lands.
Yeah.
So they Yavimaya Coast, where you can get a green or blue, and it deals a damage to you. Then Cinderglade, that
if it comes into play tapped, unless you control 2 or more basic lands. But the cool thing is it's a mountain forest, so this is searchable with your fetches and all that stuff.
Yeah. This seems really good. Like I really like the Zendikar battle lands. Mm-hmm. So I think they're solid.
All right, well, that'll do it for this week. You guys can check us on Twitter
at CommanderSmiths
and YouTube
at CommanderSmiths,
email
at CommanderSmiths,
and Patreon
at CommanderSmiths.
Until next week. What are we doing next week? Do we know what we're doing next week?
Can I do my Kakara spotlight
at some point?
Probably not.
Yes, you can, Lowry.
No, that's probably one of my Kakar.
You know what's funny? We do that noise, and the backstory of that is.
I think everybody does that, right? Kakar.
Well, do you remember what it was when we went rafting down the Grand Canyon
2
summers ago, and the girls, when they, because you couldn't, there was a toilet, but then what they would do is we would stop at certain spots and the girls would have to go pee, and so they go over off to around a corner, and to warn that they were coming, that was the sound they made. So and now that noise is just a tribute to girls peeing.
I don't have that attribution of that.
So my wife, my stepmom, Katie, I'm
a man. I just peed everywhere. Like it didn't matter. No, I don't think that's legal. You got to pee in the river.
Did we have to pee in the river?
Yeah. You can't
Oh yeah, because it crystallized or whatever.
It crystallizes, so it just
so hot.
It'd be like salt pee all over the place. So you got to go in the river, let that wash downstream. Yeah. And welcome to National Geographic, CommanderSmiths edition.
Caw. All right. Well, until next week, we will see you guys.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.